Hello, folks. Izzy, Kiara, and Chris present to you with our Lab 9 following the bouncing. For this experiment, our group decided on performing the Track B version. The goals of our experiment were to predict the motion of an object under the influence of a constant force using both kinematics and Newton's laws, and specifically for Track B, using the time between bounces to determine the coefficient of restitution of a tennis ball and racquetball. We did Track B for this lab, which means that the laws that we used in calculating our data include the coefficient of restitution equation, the equation for propagating uncertainty, and the equation of velocity in terms of delta t. We are focusing more on the coefficient of restitution and the velocity equations for this lab, but as you will see in our presentation, all of our data was calculated on Google Sheets for us. Here are the videos of our group performing our trials for the experiment. The video on the left shows us performing the tennis ball trial, and the video on the right shows us performing the racquetball trial. In between our videos, you can see all the materials that we used.
But it's just everything else, so it's not the average. You don't have to worry about doing everything over again.
This is the data that we collected from the 5 On the left, we have the data collected from the tennis ball, and on the right, we have the data collected from the racquetball trials. The main thing you will notice about these graphs is 5 distinct spikes that are seen. These spikes represent each time the ball hit the table, which is where we'll be taking our data points from and inserting them into a Google spreadsheet. The times were taken from the bottom of the spikes on the graph. We chose the bottom of the spikes as seen above because that's where we believe the ball initially bounced to begin the next spike. You can see on both graphs there's a spike that is not as long as the others. This is because the table that we dropped the ball on had a hollow space which made the balls bounce lower than the other bounces. Here is our data put into Google Sheets. We had to put different equations into each of these color boxes in order to get the numbers we needed. The red boxes have the times that were collected from the Firefox app on our phone. The yellow boxes is the change in time between the points in the red box. The purple boxes are the change in time between the values of the yellow boxes. From there, we took the average of the data in the purple box to get the coefficient of restitution. The time that the balls took to drop are significantly different because when we did the experiment, we took longer to drop the racquetball than we did the tennis ball. The coefficient values are not similar because they are different sizes. The tennis ball is larger and the racquetball is smaller, and they are both made out of different materials. According to the International Scholastic Journal of Science, the coefficient of restitution for a tennis ball is between 0.728 and 0.759. This takes into account that their study was conducted on grass tennis courts, where our experiment was done on a wooden table. Our calculated data is considered to be precise because our coefficient of restitution for the tennis ball was 0.823. The calculated results for the squash ball is 0.89. There was no other data to compare this result to other than it is close to 1, meaning it is very elastic. So in conclusion, in the case of conservation of momentum, it is conserved. It is conserved because there is no external force acting on the ball system, as the only thing inside the system is the ball. And neither the tennis ball nor the racquetball lose any kinetic energy because it is considered to be an elastic collision. Thank you for watching our presentation.